Coming into line, white flag is raised and they're off. As they head on to the first fence, the one before the straight, 14 to jump, and it's the national hero Burrows Saint on the inside disputing the lead with Fakir D'Oudairies. They're over together, followed by Sam Crow, Chef de Zobo on the inside of Ronald Pump, just the back marker as they come across to the straight. And fences 2 and 3 in the Grade 1 Bar 1 Racing.com Drinmore Novice Chase. Over 2.5 miles and 14 fences, and it's Fakir D'Oudairies, white cap, sharing the lead with Burrows Saint on the left. Just behind them in third is Sam Crow, then Chef de Zobo and Ronald Pump, as they jump safely the second fence and on to number 3, which will be their final fence next time. Burrows Saint Paul Townend disputing the lead with Fakir D'Oudairies and Mark Walsh. Right behind them in third is Sam Crow and Jack Kennedy. A break of 2.5 lengths back to Chef de Zobo, Danny Mullins, and Ronald Pump, Robbie Power. Over the third they go, taking them up in front of us. And it's Burrows Saint and Fakir D'Oudairies, the 4-year-old, separated by half a length, a little over a length and a half back to in third Sam Crow, then Chef de Zobo and Ronald Pump brings up the rear, supplemented for this race. Into the bend with a circuit in front of them. 11 more fences left to jump as they race uphill to numbers 4, 5 and 6. Burrows Saint Paul Townend with the small advantage over Fakir D'Oudairies, Mark Walsh. In third is Sam Crow and Jack Kennedy, then Chef de Zobo, Danny Mullins, Ronald Pump and Robbie Power. They're at the fourth. Rising together, Fakir D'Oudairies and Burrows Saint. Tracked closely in third by Sam Crow. 2 lengths back to Chef de Zobo and Ronald Pump. Little or no changes. Jumping the first of a couple of ditches, and it's Fakir D'Oudairies on the outside of Burrows Saint. A length off them in third is Sam Crow. 2.5 lengths then to Chef de Zobo and Ronald Pump. Heading to the fence, taking them to the halfway stage. And as they rise together, Fakir D'Oudairies and Burrows Saint, 2 lengths in front of Sam Crow, then Chef de Zobo and Ronald Pump as they turn right-handed right up at the top of the course in the Bar 1 Racing.com Drinmore Novice. Fakir D'Oudairies on the outside, just in front from Burrows Saint. Couple of lengths back to Sam Crow, followed by Chef de Zobo and Ronald Pump. All still standing, making the downhill run to the next 2 fences on the far side. 7 left to jump. Fakir D'Oudairies on the outside of Burrows Saint. In third is Sam Crow, and then Chef de Zobo and Ronald Pump. Over the next of the couple of fences on the far side, and Fakir D'Oudairies came away with the lead now of 2 to 3 lengths over Sam Crow and Burrows Saint. Another good jump by the one in front, and sloppy at that one was Burrows Saint, and has dropped back to be last but one. As they pass the 7-furlong point, they've 5 fences left to jump. And it is Fakir D'Oudairies and Sam Crow going on 3 lengths in front of Ronald Pump, who's moved into third place. As behind him, stable companions Burrows Saint and Chef de Zobo. Heading now for the final 3/4 of a mile. And the next fence, Fakir D'Oudairies. What a jump at that one. And increased the lead. 3 lengths over Sam Crow, then Burrows Saint, Ronald Pump, and Chef de Zobo. Now to the middle of the 3 fences before the straight. 4 to jump. Fakir D'Oudairies and Mark Walsh lead a length, reeled back in by Sam Crow and Jack Kennedy. Ronald Pump, third Robbie Power. Then Chef de Zobo on the outside, Danny Mullins. And Ronald Pump made a mistake and has dropped back to the rear when was in there pitching. 3 fences left to jump. Fakir D'Oudairies, Sam Crow, followed by Burrows Saint and Chef de Zobo and Ronald Pump. As they come away from that one, less than half a mile to go, and they've 2 fences left to jump. Fakir D'Oudairies, Mark Walsh on the rail, with right behind Sam Crow and Jack Kennedy, half a length between them, and they're coming away from Burrows Saint Chef de Zobo and Ronald Pump as they're in line for the final two fences. Strap yourselves in. Sam Crow on the outside. In the wing mirrors of Fakir. And Sam Crow is gone. Sam Crow is gone. Fakir D'Oudairies has possibly been presented with the Bar1Racing.com Drinmore novice as they come down to the final fence. Jack Kennedy is up on his feet, and in glorious isolation is Fakir D'Oudairies and Mark Walsh at the final fence, safely over from Burrow St. Ronald Pump and Chef de Zobo. But Fakir D'Oudairies will give Connections compensation. They were just touched off in last year's race. Fakir D'Oudairies makes up for it here, has won by a wide margin. Second, Ronald Pump. In third, Burrow St. Chef de Zobo, the only other finisher in what was a case of what would have been